I loved my grandma. I still love her, but now she doesn't seem like my grandma anymore. Like someone said to me, well, at least she's not dead. Well, she is dead to me. My grandma that I knew, I grew up with, she's not here anymore. Have you ever heard of Alzheimer's disease? You probably haven't, as it's not something you'd expect someone to know. In 2004, my grandma was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and it felt like my world had come crashing down. Sometimes I would feel like I was on my own, even though I knew I wasn't. I felt like the pain was never going to go away, and to be honest, I still don't think it will. I constantly wished that I would get my grandma back, but I knew it would never happen. I knew she would never get better. I knew she would only get worse. I never thought it would affect me this much, but it has, and I wish it hadn't. Nothing can prepare you for this amount of pain, and you can't even predict when it'll hit you. It just does. Stephanie's grandma was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease 5 years ago, and has recently been put into a care home as her granddad couldn't cope anymore.
It was really strange to think that, like, your gran who you've known your entire life isn't going to become your gran anymore. She's going to change into a totally different person who you don't know, and you might not even be able to talk to because she doesn't know you.
All I know is that she's changing and she's not going to be the same anymore. There are currently 700,000 people in the UK with Alzheimer's disease, and 60,000 die each year as a result of it. It is estimated that by 2025, there'll be over 1 million people with the disease.
All throughout the time I was little, you'd go around your grandma's and you'd have your tea, and I'd sit and I'd do her crosswords with her and things like that. We've been really, really close. And daft things like my Milky Ways, I can't eat them anymore because of every day after nursery and school, when she picked me up without fail, she'd bring me and my brother a Milky Way. It's really strange because you're used to seeing her in her own home, and now you've got to get used to her into a different environment, and you have to go and you sit in her own room with her, and you talk to her, and it's just odd because you know that when you're going to leave, she wants to come with you, and it's really hard at the point when it comes to leaving, and she gets a bit frightened and scared and being like, well, why aren't I coming with you? And she asks after my granddad all the time and asks where he is because she wants to know where he is and when he's coming up and all of this, and she thinks that she's still at home, so it is quite difficult to put up with that. I don't know, I wouldn't say we're still close now because I don't think you can be close with her, but as it was going on, she wouldn't listen to anybody else no matter what they said, and she'd always listen to me. I would be like the favourite as she was going on with it and getting worse, and it'd be like, oh Steph, will you go and just go and tell your gran to sit in the kitchen for a bit and just go and sit with her, and she'd do whatever I tell her. But I mean, you can see she does smile a bit when she sees you now, like me, and she gets really excited, but it's never going to be the same as it was. She's never going to be your best friend anymore, I don't think.
I hate going to see her, and I'll freely admit that I don't like going to see her because it hurts, because you see her and you're like, I've got so many memories, and I used to remember when you could remember me, and now you don't. So you're not my grandma anymore. I'm dreading the day when someone says, oh, your gran's passed away. I know for a fact that that's going to tip me over the edge. I'm not going to be able to cope with that. Everyone's saying to me, you'll get over it. In years to come, you'll get over it. But I don't think I will. I think I'm going to be always like this. It's always there. Like, there's like a gap in me from my grandma, but she's not there anymore.
I think the best thing you could do is maybe just use the sort of ideal that we adopted, which is if you don't laugh, you'll cry. It's for their benefit as well as yours, where if they see you getting upset by something, they don't understand why because they don't know what they've done wrong. So if you just laugh, then they're like, all right, okay, well, never mind, there's nothing wrong, everything's fine. So it helps you get by with it as well as makes it more comfortable for them, I think.
The one thing I do know is that my grandma is never going to be the same again. She's not going to be the person I grew up with, the person I was always excited about going to see. I love visiting my grandma, and when I found out she was going to be put into a care home, it broke my heart. If someone gave me a wish, the one wish would be I want my grandma back. I want her back to how she was, not how she is now.